Superior, Arizona, a small mining community east of Phoenix, has faced boom and bust cycles that left 1 in 4 of the town's buildings vacant and dilapidated. Utilizing brownfields and other funding, this resilient town is forging a bold new future by removing or revitalizing its abandoned buildings. Superior's most ambitious reuse project is in the town's historic high school, which closed in 1998. Through dynamic partnerships, this iconic building that stands tall on a hill overlooking the town is being transformed into a bustling hub for the community. Witness how Superior is not just rebuilding structures, but reigniting hope and opportunity, turning a legacy of perseverance into a vibrant vision for tomorrow.
I'm Mayor Mila Besic. I've been the mayor of Superior since 2016. My family has been in Superior for approximately 5 generations. 3 generations of my family actually even graduated from this particular high school. Bringing it back into the public domain has been an exciting project for the town of Superior, and it's going to mean that we're going to be able to consolidate a lot of important community resources, from a new community gym and community kitchen to workforce development and job training programs. Superior's always had a very high importance on education, and recently at a planning conference I learned that when you go into an older town and you see what is the most prominent building in a community, that's generally what their values are. And so we're really excited to bring our old high school back to life to use for the public. My parents were laid off from the mine, and that was one of the first big layoffs that affected our community economically. And in the mining industry, you see a lot of boom and bust cycles. In 1982 was one of the first busts, followed by a big bust again in 1996. When those busts happened, we lost a lot of businesses in our community. Those buildings were all sold to individuals that weren't able to really take care of the complex or take care of buildings. So re-energizing our community has meant using Brownfields dollars to do phase 1 and phase 2 assessments to make sure that buildings can be rehabilitated. Brownfields has really helped us get to a point of cleanup, not only just on commercial buildings, but also in our housing stock.
Brownfields, this is real property that is blighted or underused. It's hindered because of either a real or perceived environmental hazard.
The town had a dilapidation or a vacancy rate of about 24.7%. To put that in perspective, New Orleans after Katrina is 25, Detroit's 19.5. So we had a significant amount of dilapidated and abandoned structures in town. It was a pretty heavy hill to climb. We started just inventorying and quantifying them, and it was a 98 building list. We've been working on that for the better part of a decade. Of the 98, we have 22 left. About 35 were demolished. The rest were brought back through code enforcement or through remediation projects where we went in and cleaned and stabilized and got them back on the market.
You know, we're a younger state amongst the 50 states, and so a lot of our infrastructure and build happened in the early 1900s, which is when asbestos and lead-based paints were popular building products. And so a lot of the buildings that we're running into where we're trying to revitalize, redevelop, they have asbestos-containing materials or they'll have lead-based paints in them. So those are the ones that we run into the most. We also have former gas stations, and so as you imagine with a gas station, those have underground storage tanks where over time have had fuel in them, and hopefully as long as they haven't leaked. But if there haven't been any leaks, then we will also want to go ahead and investigate those soils to see if there's any petroleum contaminated soils. The things that AZDEQ does with our state response grant for brownfields, most towns and cities around Arizona don't have their own environmental department. They don't have their own grant writer. And so by coming to the state program, we sort of provide that, right? We've already done what it takes to procure a contractor to do cleanup at a site. We have the expertise to understand what to look for, doing an environmental site assessment, knowing to make sure things are sampled correctly, they're following the protocols that are needed. So what happens is AZDEQ serves as that expert and essentially free, right? So the towns don't have to give us any money, they don't have to do any matching funds. We provide that funding for them and those services. And so, a lot of times people joke with us that we're the easy button when it comes to grants.
Well, capital stack is usually those sets of funds that you need in order to get your project or program going. So you have to define what your project or program is, because that's where the money is going to come from. CClear does a number of things. We are, in addition to the state Brownfields coordinator, your one-stop shop for Brownfields assistance. We can help figure out where you are in your Brownfields journey and what kind of assistance you might need. Also, is for those MARC grants, is we will peer review these applications. We will make sure that it is ready to submit. We will review it as often as is necessary. We only ask that the communities give us enough time to give it 2 reviews, because one review usually is not enough.
Originally was working on its own one of these grant programs. We brought in grant writers, we wrote an EPA Region 9 grant for evaluation, and it was not successful. So we worked with AZDEQ and Travis to put together a coalition for our region, and the Copper Quarter Blight Busters is that coalition. It includes all the small Copper Quarter communities, it includes both counties, and we've been successful several times now with grants with that coalition. It's done, I believe, about 12 projects in town, but it's done projects throughout the Copper Quarter, many in Globe, many in Winkleman, Miami. It's all over the region.
We're very excited to add this into this reuse project because it's taken lots of partners, whether it's been our private partners like Resolution Copper and federal fundings from USDA and congressionally directed spending. This project's all coming to fruition to really make our community a stronger, more resilient community.
This is going to be a one-stop shop for all things Superior. It's going to include our senior center, our library, our incubator and our workforce programs. It's going to be town hall. It's going to be a workout space and a gym for the community. So the intent of that is to bring all of our operations under one roof and in one house to get some efficiency of scale and to recession-proof the project.
I grew up in Superior, and so this is like coming home. The town of Superior is very much aware of the boom and bust cycle in the mining industry, and we want to make sure that we are economically diversified so that we can provide a long-lasting community that is thriving. And a part of that is the Enterprise Center. The Superior Enterprise Center was developed to do 3 things primarily: to support small businesses, to encourage entrepreneurism, and the third, workforce development. So we work hard to provide the support that small businesses need, as well as really begin to introduce entrepreneurial endeavors and provide support for that.
I took this class because I thought it would be a great opportunity to jump forward in my career when I go to the schoolhouse, when I join the Marine Corps. And I think it's a great opportunity because I don't have to pay anything. It's a free class, and I think everyone should take it. It's a great skill to learn, even if you're not going to go in the industry. I think everything I've learned here is new to me, and I think all the skills are good because I didn't know what stick welding or MIG or TIG was until I got here.
I'm a junior in high school. I joined the Superior Enterprise Center for the experience and for a future after high school. And I look forward to welding in the careers of pipelines, anything that involves the welding experience. I've been involved in the system since January, and we've just been going. It's been good. We're the first class to ever get this in Superior, so it's a good experience.
It's hard to quantify exactly what the impacts are. You make little changes over long periods, and you encourage the economy to come back, and the housing stock becomes more valuable, and the economy helped with that. So overall, the town has improved its tax base, it's improved its available housing stock.
My vision for Superior is that we will continue to grow, expand on our partnerships, and continue to make Superior the most livable community in all of Arizona. But most importantly, that our community will keep coming together to bring all of these projects to fruition. And we're going to be a global destination for everyone that's going to want to come and visit and experience Superior.